Hey, Mouse Planet. It's Adrienne Vincent-Phoenix, and I am joined in studio virtually from Florida by Alan Dalinka. Hey, Alan.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Adrienne.
Hey. You know, I've always meant to ask you, does that piece of music have a name?
No, I created it.
I know. Does it have a name?
I did not name it.
It's like, it's not an anthem.
It's the Mouse Planet live theme.
Is it just a theme? It's the Mouse Planet theme.
That's all it is.
I like it. I don't know, just one of those things.
It shouldn't get us a copyright hiccup. So, you know, that's what it is.
All the important stuff.
Exactly.
So today's goal here is to dish about the MagicKey situation at the Disneyland Resort, and Alan is here to help man the control panel as we go through all of this. So to catch everybody up, this week, Disney announced that MagicKey renewals would actually begin. This has been something that people have been waiting on for a while because, you know, first MagicKey sales were suspended and then they kind of disappeared off the website for a little bit. There was no mention of renewals. Originally, the verbiage on the website said that you could renew your MagicKey 40 days in advance of expiration. That got taken completely off the website. And so we've all just been kind of in this little limbo. And you've got a group of people whose MagicKeys, a very large group of people whose MagicKeys were set to expire in a week. That's 1 year anniversary from when the program started, when the first keys went on sale. You have a smaller subset of these people who passes have already expired because they're people who upgraded from a partially used multi-day ticket. So, you know, prior to the pandemic, they had a ticket, it had a couple of days on it. They used some of them, but they still had a couple that were left over. Disney let them upgrade those tickets, those passes to a MagicKey. Well, they post-dated them. They backdated them back to the original use. There were some certain tickets that were eligible for this, a lot of military tickets. And so you've got people whose passes have already expired, they can't renew. You had all these people whose passes were going to expire who couldn't renew. And without renewing your pass, you were unable to make theme park reservations, which are now required to go to the parks. And so you've all these people that, you know, reservations opens 60 days in advance, their passes expire 30 days from now, and there's that month gap where they just couldn't do anything. So Disney came out Tuesday, said, yes, we're renewing MagicKeys. Here's the process for it. And oh, by the way, we've gotten rid of the top tier MagicKey that was previously known as the Dream Key. And we have replaced it with a brand new key called the Inspire Key. So what's the difference between Dream and Aspire, you ask? $200, 21 blockout dates, and the new free benefit of free photo pass downloads, and then a new coming up discount on Disney Genie Plus, 20% off of that. And that actually went into effect today. So if you have a MagicKey of any level that you'd already purchased, as of today, you can get 20% off of Disney Genie Plus service when you're in the parks. The photo pass download thing is still to come. So that's where we're at with the key types. If you go back 3 iterations ago to the annual pass program, there were the signature passes, the signature plus pass. Those were the 2 top tiers. And the difference between those two was $200 again, and the holiday blockout period, basically December 21st through January 1st. On the signature pass, it was a full 14-day blockout. And for a lot of people, they're like, yeah, I will save $200 on my annual pass and not go during the crowded holiday period. That works perfectly fine for me. Thank you very much. This isn't a choice, though. People aren't being given a choice. Oh, and by the way, the new pass is $200 more expensive, not less. So they bumped the pass price by $200, added 12 blackout dates or 11 blackout dates, and they're not giving you a choice. There is no such thing as a full 365-day pass anymore. It just doesn't exist. Unless you're a Club 33 member, there is no way to get an annual pass that is valid 365 days a year, and that's the first time in the history of the program that that's been that case.
So what's interesting about that is here in Florida, we still have the 365-day pass, but it was about $400 more than the step below it in exchange for the 20 blockout dates. And I mean, this is the first time that I haven't had a 365-day pass since long before I moved to Florida. I mean, I was a pass holder for years and years because I used to vacation that last week of the year and the first week of the next year. But $400 for a chance at getting a reservation was not worth the gamble, because we don't know how they're going to balance the reservations. And I imagine that that's a big factor where California is still trying to figure out how best to balance reservations for each of its ticket pools between reservations, hotels, APs or whatever they're called now, key holders, hotel guests, and day guests.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's a lot of differences between the Florida park and, the California resort. And I was going to pull something up real quick here. And kind of go down what all of the different pass types are. There's still 4 annual pass types. And so that's, the other 3 didn't really change. The prices went up, of course, because they're going to, but they didn't really change a lot in terms of the benefits. The blockout dates are about the same, which is great. They didn't add more blockout dates. They did apply the 20% Genie Plus discount to everybody. So everybody has advantage of that. They also
which are things we're not getting here in Florida. There's no Genie Plus discount in Florida. There's no PhotoPass in Florida. You can get a discount on the annual PhotoPass subscription, which I believe brought it down to, I want to say $79.99, but it might have been $99.99. But I chose not to take it. I didn't care about PhotoPass before they gave it to us for free. I enjoyed having it for free. They took it away with the last passes, and I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, it's the PhotoPass thing is kind of interesting, because also realize that Genie Plus comes with PhotoPass. And so if you're going to be giving people a discount on something, you're giving people a discount on something that they are already getting as part of their pass for the top 2 tiers. So
and
really
PhotoPass doesn't come with Genie Plus in Florida. That's another one of those differences.
Okay, let me see if I can.
So if folks have questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section. We can see comments from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube today. Those are the 3 platforms we're streaming on. And just go ahead and put them in the comments. If you put a Q in front of it, it may be easier to spot. But so far, nobody's commenting. The only comment I saw all day today on the post was, when will regular passes, I assume regular Magic Keys, go back on sale as opposed to renewals? And my guess is, not only haven't they announced it, but we won't be hearing anything anytime soon, just like we're not here in Florida. And you want to put that on the screen?
They did actually address that. And what they said is, right now they're focusing on renewals for existing Magic Key holders. And, if you want to go into my theory on what that's all about, I'm more than willing to share my theory. I'll grab my tinfoil Mickey hat and put that on. I really think that they have too many Magic Key holders. And I think that if you go back to the unfavorable attendance mix comment that was made in the earnings report, that, we're definitely the unfavorable attendance mix. As much as they love annual pass holders and Magic Key holders to give money to them, they're not terribly fond of us when we do things like visit the parks. So, we're taking away a spot that a full paying guest could have. And so long as we're staying at a hotel and eating at expensive restaurants and buying tons and tons of merchandise, okay, fine, we're earning our air. But for the pass holders that just come in because they can, because when you're paying $1,500 a year for an annual pass and it's good all 365 days of the year, you treat Disneyland like your backyard. You treat it like the beach. It's a country club. It's a place that you can go and relax, and you don't necessarily feel an obligation. You've already paid your $1,500. You're not gonna, you don't feel any need to buy a bunch of stuff to make up for that. But from Disney's standpoint, yeah, we're expensive. Magic Key holders can cost them money. It's opportunity cost. And
but there is a pretty sizable AP segment on both coasts that love buying AP merchandise.
Absolutely.
So that's gotta mix in there somewhere, right? Because if you're dissuading these regular merchandise purchasers from coming, that's got to be made up for somewhere as well.
Sure, but how many Spirit jerseys can one girl own? I mean, let's just be realistic here. Well, how many pairs of headbands? How many Spirit jerseys? How many Dooney and Burke purses? How many Loungefly backpacks? can you really get?
And yet they have those AP only merch releases on both coasts with lines that I still find incredible.
Yeah, lines up the wazoo. So let's go through the passes here. I've got them pulled up. I'm not sure if you've got them, Alan. So
what I put on the screen?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay, I put it up. You've got it? Yep. All right. So annual pass holders. So the new one is the Inspire key. This is the new top tier key. And the details didn't really change. Includes 6 park reservation holds, so you can have 6 reservations at a time. Includes theme park parking at select lots. Right now, that's all lots, all paid guest lots. It excludes the hotels, obviously. But you'll notice that now excludes the blockout dates. So if you decide that you want to come visit, say, downtown Disney during Christmas while your pass is otherwise blocked out, if you want to come do some shopping, you're going to pay for parking that day. 20% off of merchandise, 15% off of food and beverage. We're pretty certain that those discounts will still be honored during the blockout period. You can come down to downtown Disney and shop and get the discount, or eat and get the discount, because that's how they handle it with the other pass types on their blockout days. Now, the new benefit, unlimited Disney Photo Pass service, which is great. That's something that's been restored to the passes. That had previously been a benefit of the Signature Pass, and they took that away. And then 20% off of the Disney Genie service. But there's a couple of interesting caveats on this. It's only available the day that you enter the park on your pass. After you've entered the park, you can buy Disney Genie. You can't buy a length of stay on it in advance of your trip. And they are saying that it's subject to availability. Now, I don't know that Disneyland's had a day where Disney Genie is sold out, so it's probably not an issue, but they are definitely putting in there that hedge that
Florida has sold out. So
Florida has.
And ours go on sale at 7 a.m. each day. Can you buy them at 7 a.m. in California?
You have to come into the park first.
I gotcha.
And so that's definitely one of those differences, unless you've got a length of stay, unless you did unless you booked it with your tickets, unless you bought Disney Genie with your ticket for the length of stay on a multi-day ticket, and then you've got it already. So I don't believe we've had a sold out day here yet, but they're definitely putting that in front of you, saying, hey, by the way, these could sell out. So we go down to the Believe key. Again, this is a key that already existed. It's also gone up 150 from last year. 6 reservations, 50% off of theme park parking, which is nice. 10% off on food, 10% off on merchandise. And then PhotoPass was restored to them as well, and also the Disney Genie discount. Now, something I was going to point out here on these monthly payments, Californians can do a monthly payment program here. And you'll notice the prices, $91.59 a month for 12 months for renewing California residents. People were saying, okay, wait a minute. The pass only went up $150 a month. Why did the payment go up so high? The monthly payment jumped like crazy. And what people aren't realizing is that when you renew, you're not putting down a deposit like you do on a first purchase. When you make a first purchase here, you have to put down a deposit equal to, I think, the price of a one-day, one-park hopper.
Yeah.
And that drops your monthly payments, your balance down and your monthly payments down. They're not doing that. You can't actually put a deposit on these passes when you renew them. People have tried and they've been told no. So the monthly payments are going to be a little bit higher.
So we've got this question here from We've got this question here. How far in advance are you able to reserve for anything Disney? Hotels, I'm not sure what BBB is, dining, etc.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
That's it.
Okay, so that is separate from your MagicKey. Hotels are whenever they open the packages. And so we should probably a good time to give a shout out to our travel agent partner at Getaway Today, because Disney actually just opened hotel bookings for all of 2023. So you can book all of 2023 right now and get your hotel packages reserved. And this is a good time to do it. Our partners at Getaway Today have a $175 layaway plan. So you put a $175 deposit down on your vacation, and then you have until 8 days before your dates of travel to pay the balance off. So that's a good option. I don't know, Alan, if you've got their link somewhere that you can throw up.
It's on the screen.
Perfect. Sorry, I can't see the screen while I'm looking at what I'm looking at.
So the second question embedded in the one that I put up there was,
Uh-huh.
is it worth getting a key for a 1-week visit? And my guess is you can't do that right now as a guest who doesn't already have a key. I guess the question is, if you're an out-of-towner and you want to renew, does it make sense? What's the length of stay that renewing a key makes some sense for?
About 8 days, depending on what your usage pattern is going to be. But that is completely moot right now because you can only renew Magic Keys. You cannot buy a new one. So if you don't already have a Magic Key, you can't renew, you can't get one. They're not
And
allowing new purchases.
and the question, any dates on when the new passes can be bought? And the answer we gave before is they haven't said so right now.
No, and honestly, Misty, and I think I probably lost my train of thought on that answer. I really think that there's too many annual pass holders, that Disney has decided there's too many Magic Key holders. And so what they're going to do is they've opened up renewals, and they're going to go through this renewal cycle. And I honestly think they're going to go all the way through October when the Dream Keys were taken off sale. I think they're going to go all the way through that period to let all of the people that already had Dream Keys renew, to give them a chance. And then they're going to look at how many people renewed, and is that number still more than they wanted there to be Magic Key holders? Is that number below the threshold that they've got? If, throwing numbers out here, if there's 100,000 Magic Key holders and Disney's going, ooh, wait, we really only wanted 80,000. Where did you all come from? And only 60,000 people renew, then Disney's going to go, hey, we can sell 20,000 more passes. Yay, here we go. If there's 100,000, Disney wants 80 and 90 of them renew. Well, I won't even say 90. If all 80,000 that Disney's willing to sell get sold during renewals, they're not going to put them back on sale.
And so another question has come in about using gift card to renew the pass. Can you use a gift card to make monthly payments, or can you make a gift card for the first payment and then enter other payments for the subsequent payments?
No. Everything that I understand is that you can use a gift card to pay for the pass in full through the Disney website, but it will not accept a partial payment via gift card without the balance then being paid by some other form of payment. They're not letting you finance the balance. They're not letting you make a down payment.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so going back to the whole, when are they going to start selling new passes? I will say, I probably need to have this as a form that we put up on the page. We don't think they're going to until they reach the number, until they fall below the threshold of however many pass holders they've decided are the financial break-even point for them in the program.
Right. I mean, if you take Bob Chapek's unfavorable financial viewpoint, the answer really becomes when the mix of the number of annual pass holders plus the number of day guests isn't putting the number of people in the park they want in the park. That's when they will say, hey, what can we do to boost that? I think the first tack that they probably take, because it's one of the tacks they take here in Florida pretty regularly, is local ticket specials, right? And you see local ticket specials pretty regularly out there in California as well.
One going right now.
And then if the local ticket specials coupled with the day ticket mix and the annual pass holder mix doesn't get them the attendance figures they're looking for, I think that's when you start to see some new pass holder offers coming along.
Well, and that's where I'm this is a kind of a hard format. I'm kind of wishing I could do some back of the envelope calculations here right now. But if you look at the ticket that's going on right now, the SoCal ticket that's going on right now, and let me try to pull up the details on that. What's interesting to me is that, if Disney put in their press release about this, that they put in their press release, all of these other ways that, Magic Keys aren't the only way that you can visit the park. Let's see. In addition to Magic Key renewals, guests can select from regular day tickets, multi-day tickets, hard event tickets, or seasonal ticket offers available at various times of the year. You pick what works great for you, and we'll bring the magic. So they gave us some math, and they're like, oh, look, if you buy a 5-day, 1 park per day ticket, that works out to less than $76 a day. Whereas if you have an MagicKey and you only come 5 times, then that's $90 a visit. Hey, look, this 5-day one park ticket's a better deal. The problem is the MagicKey is a hopper. And so you're not comparing apples to apples here. If you're going to
in your update, you also said that the fuse on the California ticket is usually much shorter.
Well, right. Well, so the 5-day ticket that they talked about, the one that they're trying to give us a comparison on, the 5-day ticket that isn't even a SoCal discount. It's just a regular 5-day ticket. They have a 13-day fuse. You have to use all 5 admissions within 13 days of the first one. Whereas, and it's not a hopper. Whereas the MagicKey that they were talking about, you have the entire 365 days to use it, and it's a hopper. So, it's not really an apple comparison. When you add park hopping to that 5-day ticket, now it's $309 compared to an MagicKey, which is $450. So do I buy a 5-day ticket to come one trip where I'm going to visit 5 times in 13 days for $300, or do I spend an extra $150 and get an annual pass? And that's the math. There's also the Resident Salute ticket that we talked about. And that Resident Salute is an interesting one because that one there were variations on it. You could get it for weekdays or you could get it for weekends only, and they were much more expensive when you did it that way. If you wanted the weekends, if you wanted to be able to come on the busier days, they were a lot more expensive. And so if you're going to do that twice a year, is it really worth it instead of just buying the annual pass? I have a friend who said, she used to be a pass holder and now she just comes twice a year for 3 days at a time. And I'm doing the math in my head going, the pass would still have been cheaper.
Right. And I mean, that's here in Florida, we've had math situations like that to time immemorial. I mean, that's the decision I made as a vacation club member long ago, that an annual pass was a few dollars more for the length that I typically stayed at the end of the year. But it meant that anytime I could get back to Florida for the rest of the year, I had admission to the park.
Right.
So having the annual pass, even in the years I didn't live here, very, very few of those years did I not figure out a time to come back down. But the Florida Resident Salute tickets that are offered usually don't have the fuse that you face. Quite often in the Florida sales that we've seen in recent years, they will sell the Florida ticket for a season, where the ticket is good for so many admissions before a certain date. And when that season is long, as it was early during the pandemic, they just put some blockout dates in there. They blocked out spring break and things like that.
Well, I want to make sure that I'm being clear, because we were talking about 2 different types of tickets, and I may have transposed here. The Southern California resident offer, the California resident, let me be clear, the California resident ticket that they're currently offering doesn't have a fuse. It has an expiration date. And I believe that expiration date's coming up here pretty quickly. So you had the entire duration to use your 3 admissions, whatever that was going to be. What I'm talking about is the 5-day, the regular 5-day ticket. Those are the ones that come, the regular multi-day tickets have a fuse. And when Disney was giving their example, they were comparing a regular multi-day ticket with a fuse to an annual pass. And there's just no comparison on that, especially since the annual pass is a hopper.
Is there, from one of the questions here, is there any hint that, for example, California Adventure could unblock certain block days going forward if they notice reservation patterns emerging?
I don't know. I mean, they dynamically changed the reservation buckets. It seems like every night at midnight it changes. So I don't know. I could definitely see them going back to what they had with the Flex Passport, where there are days that DCA is not blocked, but the other pass is, but Disneyland is. I can see them going back to that. And I think there's so much fine tuning and tweaking going on. And I can't even imagine the math that they're running back there at looking at all of these things. But I could see them going back to that they had with the Flex Pass.
And then Christopher asks, do you think the Inspire key will be offered until October? Do you think that all keys will be available until that time? Or will they allow other keys to sell out sooner, just not the Inspire until then?
So I'm not saying that they're going to offer the Inspire key all the way through October. I'm thinking that they're going to have renewals available through October, or unless they sell out before that. But I don't think there's anything I don't think there is a single chance that they're going to open new sales before October. Let me be clear on that. I'm probably misspeaking. I do not think there's any chance that they're going to let new sales start before October, before every single one of the Dream key holders has had the opportunity to renew or not. And once that entire group of people have gone through and decided whether or not they're going to renew, I think then Disney's going to look at it and say, okay, here's what our numbers are looking like. Do we open new sales, or do we hold here as the renewals go through and see how many more people renew? I think if they're getting like a 50% renewal rate, then we'll probably see Magic Keys reopen for new sales maybe after the holidays. But if the renewal rate's a lot higher than that, I don't think we will. And as to whether or not, keys are going to sell out, Disney is really being transparent and forward in everything that they're saying, which is keys can sell out, and one type may sell out and another type may sell out, and they may sell out and they may come back available again. And they're making it really clear that this can all change without notice at any time. And
when did they pause key sales?
I want to say October for Dream.
So that's why you're using October as the marker, because that's when it's been a year since the last Dream keys were sold.
That will anniversary the expiration. Yeah, that'll be the expiration of all the Dream keys, and then they have 30 days beyond, or that's it. That's right. There's no 30-day extension. So yeah, they've got until whenever that last person bought their pass.
Gotcha. All right. Any other questions out there? We're coming up on about a half an hour mark.
Oh, I can go back and go at the other keys. We can look at these. So we talked about the Enchant key, 4 reservations, 10% merchandise, 10% food and beverage, 20%, 5% off of theme park parking, but only in the Toy Story parking area. So it's not good in the Mickey and Friends or the Pixar Pals parking lot. And then also the Genie Plus discount. And then the Imagine key, which is only available to Southern California residents, 9000 through 93599. They can get 2 reservation holds at once, 10% on merchandise, 10% on food, 25% off on parking. So I do appreciate that they threw them a parking benefit, because previously they'd had to pay full price for parking. Again, it's only at Toy Story. And then something that I think it's important to mention, all of these new benefits that have gone into effect, the 25% or the 20% off on Disney Genie, and the photo pass downloads when those go, those are all available now effectively. Disney the photo pass hasn't started yet, but when it does, regardless of whether your pass has expired or renewed, you'll be able to take advantage of that. They're not waiting until you renew for you to get the new perks. So they're telling people, hey, you can enjoy these things now. Now, is this the part where we have to really make clear that I am not a lawyer, and I am not your lawyer, and I am not a lawyer at all, and Alan's not a lawyer in California, and we're not lawyers? Did I mention that we're not lawyers? That I'm not a lawyer?
You've mentioned it.
Okay. All right. Wow. Look at these terms and conditions. I want to get into this one, which is my favorite term and condition ever. Where did it go? I've lost it. Okay. Magic key holders, regardless of their Magic Key pass type, are not entitled to any or all reservations Disney makes available to others. They're being really, really super clear with you that just because Susie in San Diego with her special secret squirrel Club 33 ticket got a reservation on a day that you couldn't go doesn't mean that you get to sue them. They're making it really clear that just because somebody who bought a 5-day park hopper through a vacation package was able to make a reservation on a day that you didn't get to go, you don't get to sue them. I mean, you can try, but they are being really, really super clear here that there are different reservations available for different folks. And if you can't get the reservation you wanted with your pass, it's because that's the type of ticket you've got. If you want one of the reservations that other people can get, you need to buy those other people's types of tickets.
Well, and it goes to what I said about the Florida pass, where the $400 upcharge between our top two tiers only gives you a chance to make a reservation for those 20 days that are blocked out. It doesn't guarantee you admission on those 20 days.
Right. And that's then a subject of topic of conversation here too, is did it make sense for them to offer a 365-day pass when basically it's an opportunity? It's not really an opportunity drawing, but it's kind of like random chance as to whether or not you get a ticket, is whether or not you can make a reservation for the date that you want to go. At least this is saying, nope, you're just not going those days. Unless you buy a 1-day ticket and you make your reservation at the time that you buy your ticket, then you know you're going. So there's nobody going, but I bought a ticket and I can't make my reservation. No, you make the reservation when you buy the ticket, you know you're going. And I do expect a couple of people to be buying 2 or 3 day park hoppers to supplement those visits for them, which is, more revenue for Disney. It's a kind of a sneaky way to get an extra $400 for a pass.
So Bruin asks, I didn't activate my Dream Key until end of April this year, so my expiration date is until April of 23. Do you think they will still allow renewal to Inspire at that time?
That is going to be whether or not they're allowing renewals to anything at that time. Right. And it's very possible that by the time your pass comes up for renewal, excuse me, I need a cough button. It's very possible that by the time your pass comes up for renewal, they're not going to be offering renewals.
And you didn't, go ahead.
Well, it's also possible that by the time that your pass comes up for renewal, that you're only going to be able to get the SoCal pass. I'm in the same situation. I bought my ticket, but I didn't activate it until November. And I'm fully resigning myself to the fact that I'm going to be getting the SoCal ticket when it comes time to renew.
And right now, with all of the key types available, are folks allowed to upgrade or downgrade categories? So you can freely move between the categories when you renew.
Yes. Yes, you can fully renew. And one of those things that, this goes into, 4D chess. In the event that you had a Dream Key, in your Bruin situation, and you, in April of 2023, the only thing they have left is the SoCal pass. If you choose not to renew and your pass lapses, then you're kind of done at that point. You have to wait for them to start selling new keys all over again. If you renew to the lowest level pass, the Imagine Pass, which is the SoCal one, and kind of putts along with that for a while, and then all of a sudden they reopen renewals, you could upgrade at that point to a higher level pass if it's available. But if you do that, you're going to have to pay the full difference between the two pass types. You're going to have to pay it in full at the time that you do the upgrade, and your pass your expiration date won't change. So it'll still be backdated to whenever you renewed originally. But I've talked to a couple of people that think they're going to be in that situation, and I'm like, yep, we're just going to renew to the SoCal pass. And if there's at least 6 months left in the year and they give us a chance to upgrade to Inspire, we'll do that and deal with it.
Because right now in Florida, you can renew, and if you're at a high level, you can renew at the high level. And I believe there's some upward mobility, but not full, because there are a lot of pass holders who've only been able to buy our Pixie Pass, which is our bottom pass now,
right,
which is only open to Florida residents and has an enormous number of blockout dates. And I don't believe that folks who have that pass can renew for a tier up, because they're not selling the tier up.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen here. when it comes time for us to renew in November or April or whatever, I think we're going to be in that situation of you renew what you get.
Okay. I don't see any more questions coming in. You got a summary that you want to throw out there, and then we'll wrap it up.
I do, if you don't mind, and I'm not certain if there's a way that I can put this up on the screen. So let me just ignore me for a minute while I try to go in and look at this.
Oh, I got something we can put on the screen for our faithful viewers for a minute.
Sure. Oh, not that again.
Well, he's not here, so we can always show Todd.
Poor Todd.
All right, there you
Oh.
It's been a while since I've been in the MousePlanet side of the brand here on StreamYard. I see a question has popped up. Let's see what we've got. Can you renew now if your key doesn't expire until November?
No, 30 days in advance. Trust me, I tried.
Yep.
I did actually try. Because I know my pass doesn't expire until November, and I thought, sometimes their system's a little wonky. Maybe they're going to let us. Let me see if I can pull this up. We did a Q&A thread, and it was things that people had asked us about the MagicKey, and I was trying to get that for them. Alan, can you pull it up on your side?
What's this? What page do you want me to pull up?
Can you pull up the Twitter thread, the Q&A thread that we did? I am not appropriately logged in, and it's not letting me show it.
Well, there you are streaming live on Twitter.
That's cool. Hi, Twitter.
Let's see.
All right, folks, it's my first time, and I'm trying to get used to my programming.
When did you start the thread? Oops, it wants me to log in too.
Okay, seriously, why are we incompetent at this? Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, well, I wasn't prepped to share Twitter today. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Show this thread. I'm not sure where you want to start, but I can share that. Let's see.
No, because I want to go through them because there have been some changes, and I want to make sure I'm going to have to go in and delete the thread to get the correct information up there. So I figured we'd go through this now. Okay. And this is the big one. If a parent has a child who has turned 3 since the MagicKey sales were halted, can the parent now purchase a new MagicKey for that child? The answer is maybe-ish. And this is unfortunately changed. Now, so I can be clear, and I just really want to be clear, I'm not making this stuff up. When we do a Q&A, I literally take the questions that you guys give me, and I go straight to Disney for an answer because I really don't like misinformation, and I really do try hard to make sure that we're clarifying things for people and being helpful. And so what I published here is exactly what I was told. MagicKey holders in this situation can get help by calling this number. Well, what ended up happening is people started calling that number this morning based on what we published. And unfortunately, there was a communication gap somewhere. And I don't know where it was, but it wasn't between me and the email that I read. But they're not doing it by phone. What they're now saying is that if your child has turned 3 in the last 60 days from today's date, that you can go to Disneyland with the child in tow and their birth certificate or a passport or some kind of proof of their age, and they will make an exception and sell you a new key for that child if you are currently a MagicKey holder. I know you're going to tell me, okay, but that other website says that you don't have to do that, or that other person on this other website said that they just called and they just did it by phone and they weren't asked for proof of age. They weren't asked to show the kid. Nobody did that. There's a difference between policy and practice at Disney, and it's one of these things that drives me insane. The policy I am being told is you must, with child in tow and birth certificate or proof of whatever, take said child to Disneyland in person to the ticket booth to do this. You can't call that phone number. You have to go in person. You may find different results. Your mileage may vary, but this is what we're being told now. So I wanted to make sure that I clarified that for people who was like, but dude, MousePlanet said, because apparently MousePlanet said is like the last thing that this cast member ever wants to hear come out of anybody's mouth again. And I really do apologize, but this is the information we were given. Is there a Disney Vacation Club renewal for discounts? If so, how do we get it? There is. It's $20. It's off of all tiers, including the Inspire, and you have to do it at the ticket booth. It is one of the few cases where you can renew your pass at the ticket booth. A lot of people try to go to the ticket booths today to renew their passes in person, and they were told, you don't have a special case, you can go do it online.
And where for Disneylanders do they find their DVC ID? For us here in Florida, it's now buried about 3 screens deep on your Magic Mobile Pass, which you have to create in the My Disney Experience app, and you have to know exactly where to tap to then display that you have your DVC affiliation. How do you do that for Disneyland right now?
You pull up Member Services website and you show them that. You log into DVC Member.
You log into your DVC account.
Mm-hmm. Yep, nice. That's how you do it. Can I renew in person or only online? Look, Disney really, 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 really does not want you going to the ticket booths in person unless you've got a special use case where you have to. So unless you are paying for all or part of your pass in cash, or you're paying with a Disney gift card and you need to do it in person, or you are dealing with a my child turned 3 5 days ago situation, they're going to ask you to do it online, and they will turn away from the booth and tell you to do it online. Why are the monthly payments so much higher? I explained that. There's no down payment this time, and so the total balance that they're financing is higher. Is there anything else in that thread? I can't remember what else is on there.
Well, you said paying with a Disney gift card, but then you say limit 1 per transaction with $1,000 maximum value. So you can only use 1 Disney gift card towards the purchase of a ticket?
So this is a policy versus practice thing. The official policy is that you can use 1 Disney gift card and it can have a maximum of $1,000 stored value on it.
Right. Well, I know that Disney gift cards max out at 1,000 value. Mm-hmm. I've been paying my Disney Vacation Club dues with DVC. Mm-hmm. They take multiple forms of payment. You can just keep entering another 1,000 and another 1,000 and another 1,000 until you've made your payments. But the
Disney ticket website will not let you do that. And officially, you can't use 2 gift cards to pay for your Magic Keys at the ticket booths. Has it happened? Yes, it has. Am I going to tell you that you can do it? No, I'm not, because MousePlanet said so is not a word that anybody at Disneyland wants to hear. Does the 20% discount include Lightning Lane? No, it doesn't. And that hasn't changed. So.
And is that the end of the thread?
Oh, it goes. There were so many questions. But it was a lot of people asking about, but what do I do about my pass that renews? And when can I get a new one? And the answer is no. And if I'm going to pull out my magic crystal ball, my skull of the Forbidden Temple, whatever that Indiana Jones movie was with the weird crystal skull, if I'm going to pull that thing out, I'm going to say, do not look for Magic Key sales, new sales to begin before October, and honestly not until 2023 if they reopen at all. But I do not think they'll reopen unless a lot of people don't renew.
I would think, even keeping an eye on Florida, because I would think Florida's annual pass sales could reopen before California's do, as they did apparently as an error for 5 minutes a few weeks ago, which means that somebody was at least working on the code to allow it to reopen.
Right.
But based on the numbers of people in the park, I don't think it's happening anytime soon here in Florida either.
Well, and what's interesting is I have friends that have Walt Disney World annual passes that they bought them. They got 2 trips out of them. That's what they'd wanted to do. And they were going to let them lapse. But they're afraid if they don't renew them, they're not ever going to be able to buy new ones again. So they're renewing them and making vacation plans to use the passes that they're renewing because they're afraid of not being able to get them again. So it's this weird cycle going on of I'm never giving up my pass.
Well, this might be a very interesting year to attend the DVC annual meeting. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of very angry DVC members at the annual meeting this year, which will be coming up in December. At
You
any
have
rate, what's that?
I said you have fun.
Yeah, I missed the last one. I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right, let's sign off. Thanks everybody.
No,
Oh, you
one
got
more
one.
thing. I got to do a plug.
Go ahead,
I've
plug.
got to do a plug for Chalk Walk. All right, guys. It is Chalk Walk season. It is this coming up next weekend, and we are looking for your help. If you have followed us at all, you know that I am a huge proponent of Children's Hospital Orange County. I am a big fan of theirs. Started well before I ever had kids. I've been working on the fundraising foundation side with Chalk for a long time. And then all of a sudden I became a parent, and then I became a Chalk parent, and it is personal now. So I am, if you are at all able to go in and make a donation at all, $5, $10 to our account, Alan put the link there up on the page. I would greatly appreciate it. Our deadline for fundraising is tomorrow. We've all met our goals. Everybody on the team's already met our goals. We're not saying, hey, help me get a ticket to this thing. But we're saying if you can help by donating $5 or $10 to help the kids in Orange County, we would greatly appreciate it. I know Alan's charity out there is Give Kids the World Village. My charity here is Chalk. You can see my collection of chalk bears over the years. So that's my plug.
All right. And so with that, from Florida, it's Alan Dalinka.
Adrienne Vincent-Phoenix here from sunny Southern California.
And thanks for joining us. I will log us out, and we'll see you real soon.
See you real soon.